Well, it's getting harder to grow Christmas trees in southern Indiana due to the rising temperatures and diseases. Isabella Vesperini joins us from Twin H Tree Farms to tell us more on how local growers are still meeting the demand.
Thanks, Joe. Well, experts say that everyone who wants a real tree will be able to get one. Environmental factors are making the growing process more challenging. One local tree farm can only grow 2 types of trees that can survive the heat: white pine and Norway spruce.
It's clay soil, so it dries out like concrete.
Twin H Tree Farm has gone from growing 150 acres of trees to 50 acres of trees since they first opened in 1985.
You got 10 years to protect the tree from the elements. And if you're lucky, you get a sellable tree.
Hopwood plants between 1,200 and 1,400 trees each year and harvests 300 to 400 annually to sell. It takes about 8 to 10 years for a Christmas tree to grow.
They're shallow-rooted trees, so I have a lot of fatalities as soon as we get a dry spell. If I can get a tree in the field to survive the first 4 or 5 years, I'll probably have a sellable tree.
A variety of bugs and blights, as well as deer eating the trees, also makes it harder to keep the crop healthy. Hopwood can usually sell about 60 to 70% of each year's harvest. Hopwood has raised the prices of the trees in the hopes of making more money. Depending on the size and type, prices range from $50 to $375.
I cannot get enough money out of the ones in the field to make a profit off of them.
While Hopwood has an adequate number of trees on her farm to get by, she still relies on her supplier from Michigan to meet demand for taller trees. Michigan is the third largest producer of Christmas trees in the nation, growing nearly 13.5 million fir trees each year. Hopwood received 1,500 trees from Michigan this year. May's Greenhouse in Bloomington ships in trees from North Carolina, about 900 Fraser firs.
The Fraser firs are kind of the Cadillac of the Christmas trees, so that's what everybody wants.
Pennington hasn't been able to get enough trees that are 9 feet tall and above. He wanted 4 or 5 more. His tallest tree this year is 12 feet instead of the normal 14 feet. The demand for taller trees is increasing.
It's slow to grow, so they've been planting more, but it's just now starting to catch up to demand. But the taller trees haven't had enough time to grow yet to have enough.
Younger trees are the most vulnerable to the warmer temperatures. Average annual temperatures have increased 1 to 2 degrees between 1979 and 2021 and are expected to continue to rise another 5 to 6 degrees by 2050. Higher temperatures, especially in the fall, can decrease some trees' ability to retain their needles due to loss of moisture.
A lot of times growers will have to hold off on harvesting until the trees have experienced some cool weather.
But this becomes harder to do because people are starting their Christmas celebrations earlier and earlier. May's Greenhouse got calls from people as early as November 1st, asking when they would start selling trees. Studies show early celebrations and the sight of holiday decor can improve mood and increase dopamine levels. 95% of homes in the country display at least one tree, and almost 80% of trees displayed are artificial. Around 85% of artificial trees are imported from China.
It's just a convenience, instant Christmas. So I think that's very popular.
Even though artificial trees are growing in popularity, Warner says not to worry about real trees going out of business, even with droughts affecting crops in the Northeast and Pacific Northwest.
I think the popularity of both trees is still extremely high. We do see a lot of people decorating inside and outside of their home with multiple trees, which is fun.
As climate change continues to make temperatures rise, farmers will have to adapt and start growing tree species that are more resistant to warm weather. Canadian fir and Turkish fir both handle higher temperatures well.
We're actually establishing seed orchards here in the United States. So we are going to collect and create our own seed supply in the United States to then grow those tree seedlings out with. So even though they're not native to the U.S., we would still produce them here.
Even though Hopwood struggles to make money off of the trees she grows, she still sees the value in keeping her farm open.
I just grow them because people like to walk through them.
Other farms in Indiana are having a hard time growing trees and have raised prices, but there will still be enough trees to go around. Reporting from Twin H Tree Farms for Indiana News Desk, I'm Isabella Vesperini.